Your body knows before your mind does. This is one of the most important truths you will encounter as you navigate the experience of a timeline shift. While your conscious mind is still processing the intellectual concept of a new reality, your physical body, your nervous system, your cells, your sensory apparatus, has already begun to respond. It is already recalibrating, already upgrading, already reorganizing itself around the new frequency you have stepped into. And the symptoms of this reorganization, while sometimes confusing or even alarming, are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that something is profoundly, irreversibly right. A timeline shift is the internal realignment of your consciousness with a higher, more abundant version of reality. It is not a future event you're working toward. It is a present moment recognition that the version of you who is sovereign, joyful, and free is not a distant aspiration, but the truth of who you already are at the level of frequency. When this recognition takes root, when it moves from the intellectual understanding to the embodied knowing, your physical body must undergo a series of updates to accommodate the new data. This is the biological upgrade, and it is one of the most fascinating and least discussed aspects of the timeline shift experience. The transition to a higher timeline is not merely a mental or spiritual event. It is a profound biological restructuring. As your consciousness shifts into a more abundant frequency, your physical vessel, the biological computer through which you experience this reality, must process a higher intensity of information than it was previously designed to handle. Your nervous system, your endocrine system, your sensory organs, and even your metabolism are all involved in this upgrade. Understanding what is happening in your body during this process is essential for navigating it with grace, compassion, and confidence. The quantum fog. When your mind clears its cache. One of the most commonly reported and most disorienting experiences during the biological upgrade is what practitioners call the quantum fog. This is a state of temporary mental disorientation where the linear logic of the old timeline no longer seems to apply, but the multidimensional logic of the new timeline has not yet fully integrated. You may find yourself walking into a room and forgetting why you are there. You may experience memory slips where events from just a few days ago feel like they happened in a different lifetime. You may find it difficult to concentrate on tasks that once felt effortless. Or you may notice that your relationship to time has become strangely fluid. These are not signs of cognitive decline. They are indicators that your brain is offloading the heavy, dense data of the old timeline to make room for the lighter, more fluid data of the highest timeline. Think of it as a computer that is running a major software update. During the update, the system may be slower, less responsive, and temporarily unable to perform its usual functions. But when the update is complete, the system operates at a significantly higher level of efficiency and capability. The quantum fog is your brain's update process, and it is a sign of success, not failure. Your nervous system, once perhaps in a state of high cortisol and fight or flight, is now moving toward high coherence and rest and digest. Your sensory input, previously filtered for survival and lack, is now being refined for beauty and abundance. Your sleep cycles, once linear 8-hour rests, are now intermittent download periods where your subconscious processes the new codes of your highest timeline. Even your metabolism has shifted from heavy energy processing to light, high-frequency assimilation. Every system in your body is being reorganized around a new set of priorities. And the temporary discomfort of this reorganization is the price of a profound and permanent upgrade. Sensory refinement. The world becomes more vivid. As your nervous system recalibrates, you may notice a significant shift in the quality of your sensory experience. Colors may appear more vivid, as if the saturation of the world has been turned up. Sounds that you once ignored, the rustle of leaves, the hum of distant traffic, the rhythm of your own breath, may take on a musical quality. Food may taste different, with a heightened awareness of flavors and textures that you previously ate without noticing. The touch of fabric against your skin, the temperature of air, the weight of your own body. All of these sensations may become more present, more textured, more alive. This is because your senses are no longer tuned solely to survival. In the old timeline, your sensory apparatus was primarily a threat detection system. It was scanning the environment for danger, for lack, for anything that needed to be managed or controlled. In the highest timeline, this survival-based filtering begins to dissolve. Your senses are no longer narrowed by fear. They are opened by safety, and in that openness, they begin to perceive the hidden abundance that was always there, but was previously filtered out by the architecture of the lower timeline. This sensory refinement is one of the most beautiful gifts of the timeline shift. It is the experience of the world becoming genuinely more beautiful, not because the world has changed, but because you have changed. You are now capable of perceiving dimensions of beauty, harmony, and richness that were always present but invisible to the survival-focused consciousness of the old timeline. The same sunset that you once glanced at and forgot now stops you in your tracks. The same piece of music that you once heard as background noise now moves you to tears. This is not sentimentality. This is the awakening of your full perceptual capacity. Time dilation. When the clock loses its authority. One of the most striking and philosophically significant aspects of the biological upgrade is the experience of time dilation. In the old timeline, time was experienced as a linear, relentless progression. A scarce resource that was always running out, always insufficient, always demanding more from you than you had to give. In the highest timeline, this relationship with time undergoes a fundamental transformation. You may find that moments of joy or deep presence seem to last for hours, while hours of routine activity pass in a blink. You may find that you can accomplish in a single focused hour what previously took an entire day of scattered effort. You may find that the right people, the right information, and the right opportunities appear with a timing so precise that it cannot be attributed to coincidence. This is because you are moving out of linear clock-based time and into what might be called quantum time, the eternal opportune moment in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. In the highest timeline, time is not a master to be served, but a tool to be utilized. The more you ground yourself in the present moment, the more fully you inhabit the now, the more you will find that time expands to accommodate your desires and creative expressions. Deadlines that once felt like sources of stress become markers of divine timing. The future, once a source of anxiety, becomes a field of infinite potential. The past, once a weight to carry, becomes a neutral library of wisdom. And the present, once a moment to get through on the way to somewhere else, becomes the only point of power, the only place where creation actually occurs. Physical symptoms of the upgrade. Understanding the growing pains. The biological upgrade is not always a comfortable process. As your body adjusts to the new frequency, you may experience a range of physical symptoms that can feel alarming if you do not understand their source. It is important to approach these symptoms with compassion and curiosity rather than fear, while also maintaining appropriate medical awareness. Many of these experiences are the growing pains of a soul that has finally outgrown its previous limitations. You may experience a ringing in the ears or a sensation of pressure at the crown of the head. These are often described as frequency adjustments, the biological equivalent of a radio being tuned to a new station. Just as a radio must be tuned to a specific frequency to receive a clear signal, your biological vessel is being tuned to the frequency of the highest timeline. This tuning process ensures that you can sustain the high vibration energy of abundance without burnout or fatigue. You may experience periods of intense fatigue followed by bursts of inexplicable energy. The fatigue is the integration phase, the period when your system is processing and assimilating the new codes. The energy bursts are the activation phase, the moments when the new programming comes online and you suddenly feel more alive, more creative, and more capable than you have in years. Both phases are necessary, and both are signs of progress. You may experience changes in your appetite and dietary preferences. A sudden aversion to heavy, processed, or low-vibration foods is extremely common during the biological upgrade. Your body is becoming a more sensitive instrument, and it begins to communicate its needs with greater clarity. You may find yourself craving lighter, more living foods. Fresh fruits and vegetables, pure water, herbal teas. Foods that carry a higher vibrational charge and support the recalibration of your nervous system. Honor these cravings. Your body knows what it needs to complete its upgrade. What might have once been interpreted as dizziness, illness, or instability is now understood as a recalibration of your inner compass. Memory loss, once a sign of aging or stress, is now seen as clearing the old timeline's cache. Fatigue, previously a lack of energy, is now deep integration of new light codes. Heightened sensitivity, once dismissed as being too sensitive, is now recognized as advanced intuitive navigation. You are not falling apart. You are being rebuilt at a higher specification. Signs and synchronicities. How your body confirms the shift. The biological upgrade is accompanied by a rich array of signs and synchronicities that confirm you are on the right path. These confirmations appear in the physical world as well as in the internal landscape of your body and mind. You may notice that your dreams have become more vivid, more coherent, and more meaningful. Where once your dreams were fragmented and forgettable, they now carry clear narratives, powerful symbols, and information that feels directly relevant to your waking life. This is because your sleep has become a download window, a period when your subconscious is actively processing the new codes of your highest timeline and integrating them into your cellular memory. Pay attention to your dreams during this period. They are not merely the byproduct of a resting brain. They are dispatches from the deeper intelligence that is guiding your upgrade. You may also notice that your body begins to respond to environments and people with a new level of sensitivity. You may feel physically uncomfortable in spaces or situations that carry a low vibration. A sense of heaviness, a tightening in the chest, a sudden fatigue that has no physical explanation. Conversely, you may feel physically energized and uplifted in the presence of high vibration people, places, and activities. This is your body functioning as a frequency meter, providing you with real-time information about the resonance of your environment. Trust these physical signals. They are among the most reliable guidance systems available to you. The physical echoes of the shift can also manifest as a sudden clarity about long-standing health issues. You may find that conditions that have troubled you for years begin to resolve themselves as your frequency elevates and your body is no longer being drained by the low vibration emotions of fear, lack, and resentment. Your health is not something you are working on. It is the natural state of a soul in alignment. And as your alignment deepens, your physical vitality naturally increases. Practical daily rituals, supporting your biological upgrade. The biological upgrade is not something you can force or accelerate through willpower, but there are practices that create the optimal conditions for the upgrade to proceed smoothly, comfortably, and efficiently. These practices are acts of deep self-care and self-respect, ways of honoring the profound transformation that your body is undergoing. The morning body scan. Before you rise from bed, take 3 minutes to scan your body from head to toe with your awareness. Notice any areas of tension, discomfort, or unusual sensation without judgment. Then breathe into those areas, sending warmth and acceptance. This practice establishes a daily dialogue with your body, training you to listen to its signals and respond with compassion rather than suppression. Hydration as a ritual. Water is one of the most powerful tools available to you during the biological upgrade. It conducts frequency, it supports cellular communication, and it helps to flush the dense energetic residue of the old timeline from your system. Drink water consciously and abundantly. Before you drink, hold the glass in your hands and set an intention. For clarity, for healing, for alignment. This is not superstition. It is the recognition that your intention is a frequency, and that frequency can be carried by water into every cell of your body. Movement as medicine. Your body needs to move during the upgrade process. Movement helps to circulate the new energetic codes through your system, prevents stagnation, and supports the nervous system's recalibration. Choose movement that feels joyful rather than punishing. A walk in nature, a gentle yoga practice, dancing to music that makes your heart sing. The goal is not to exhaust your body, but to enliven it, to remind it that it is a vessel of joy and not merely a machine of survival. The evening integration. Before sleep, take 5 minutes to acknowledge the upgrade that is occurring in your body. Place your hands on your heart and say, either aloud or silently, "I honor my body's wisdom. I trust the process of my transformation. I give my body permission to heal, to upgrade, and to become the perfect vessel for my highest self." This simple practice communicates to your subconscious that you are a willing and conscious participant in the upgrade, and it allows the integration process to proceed more smoothly during sleep. Empowering conclusion. You are being rebuilt for a higher purpose. As you integrate these biological changes, it is important to treat your body with immense compassion. You are, in a very real sense, birthing a new version of yourself. This is not a process that can be rushed or forced. It unfolds in its own perfect timing, guided by the intelligence of your highest self and the wisdom of the universe. By acknowledging these symptoms as evidence of your successful shift rather than as signs of failure or illness, you reinforce the new reality and accelerate the integration. You are no longer the person you were. You are a biological pioneer inhabiting a world of limitless potential. The physical discomforts are merely the growing pains of a soul that has finally outgrown its previous limitations and stepped into its most abundant expression. Your body is not betraying you. It is transforming for you, becoming the perfect instrument for the frequency of your highest timeline. Walk gently with yourself. Drink water. Rest when you need to. Move when you are called to. And know that every symptom, every moment of fog, every burst of inexplicable energy is a sign that the upgrade is proceeding exactly as it should. You are becoming more than you were. You are becoming who you always were at the deepest level of your being. Affirmation. I honor my body as the sacred vessel of my highest self. I trust the process of my biological upgrade. I welcome the changes in my senses, my sleep, my appetite, and my perception as signs of my successful timeline shift. My body is wise, my body is healing, and my body is becoming the perfect expression of the abundant, sovereign, joyful soul that I am.